Painting. Write what you want to do out of painting Bear Island, sketching yourself, or a pastel picture of a native animal on the sheet, Mrs. Tafati told us. I chose painting because sometimes I do it at home and I like doing it and want to get better. Plus I find it really fun at the same time as calming. Where are all the water pots for cleaning our brushes? I asked at the first session. I was surprised to find out that we weren't using water. Instead, we were using magazines. For the first session, we practiced our blending skills, fading warm and cool yellows and blues into each other, with different shades of green in the middle. We did the same thing with red and yellow, then blue and red, making sure that we didn't go up and down, left and right for one picture, simply the same way the entire time. We held up the finished pieces and noticed the improvement between them. We walked around the table, giving feedback and feed forward to everyone else in the group. After we had done this, we tried a drag technique, which is when you load up the piece of cardboard with paint, line it up against the paper, and drag the cardboard across the paper. You have to make sure that the pressure is exactly right, not too hard, not too light. Next, we looked at the picture and thought about what we wanted to change and tried again. We then tried the black to white blending technique. The next Monday, we tried again and noticed the improvement between them. After that, we got one of our small pieces and did it again on this. The next day, we found out why we made this, while doing a black and white painting of Bear Island. First, we chose our picture that we wanted to copy and trace around the island, the rocks and the line between the sand sky. Then, using a window and a pencil, we traced it onto the piece of paper. We chose our paintbrushes and began. First, we did our sea and painted over the pencil line of our rocks and tried to fade light to dark out by the island and lighter closer to the beach, and then moved around the table by one artwork and gave feedback on their sea, then did the same for everyone else. After that, we started on our islands. We then gave feedback on everyone's islands, like before. Next, we did our sky, and we had to make sure that it was a really light grey, but I accidentally made mine too dark, so I had to redo it when the paint had dried. After that, we added our waves. We had to get some white on our thin brush. Then, we used the dabbing technique to make the wave. It had to be thick by the side of the painting, then get thinner towards the middle, then it disappeared into the water. When it had dried, we did the highlights. On the tip of the wave, we added another coat of white so that it was completely white. A couple of days later, I added my rocks. You had to use black and paint a semicircle. We had to make sure that the bottom of the rocks were completely flat. Then when they had dried, we had to make a medium-toned grey and add it to the side of the rock to add some depth. Mrs. Tafati held up my painting far away from me, and then I held it up for her to see, and we decided I was finished with that painting. After that, we started on our colour picture. We used humongous brushes and scooped up some blue only and painted the sea out by the island. We then took the white and painted the middle of the sea, then started to blend them into each other. The white disappeared and the sea was light to dark. After that, we mixed up a really light blue, almost white, and painted our sky with the humongous paintbrushes. After that, we added our waves. Next, we looked at the shape of Bear Island on the picture we were copying and made a light outline with a pencil on the paint, then painted the island. After that, we added the dark bits to the island and painted the highlights on the wave. I painted a couple of different shades of grey on the island, then outlined the top of the island with white to make it stand out and a black line between the island and the sea. I then painted in my black rocks, then added the light parts with the grey. I looked at it from far away, then added a few little details, and then I was finished. These are my two finished artworks.